It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Jamie is a leading Tampa Bay real estate agent and featured on the Wall Street Journal's list of top 100 real estate agents in the nation. Jamie invites you to list your home with him today and learn more at tampabayradio.com. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday, and thanks for leaving the dial on 1250 WHNZ for That Business Show, where business becomes show business. This is our second week of 2 hours a day, and it looks to be a very entertaining day today. Josh, you already got a grin on your face. What's going on over there?
I was just thinking, thanks, Gordon Deal fans.
Yeah, we're not Gordon Deal people. I think they've probably figured that out. So if the true Gordon Deal fans have probably already tuned me out and went over to the other station. Actually, I don't even know where you can find him, though, anymore.
No, they're sticking around.
Yeah, we're an entertaining show, informative, and we got a great show planned today. Also, it's TBBO Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, we highlight the Tampa Bay business owners, of which I'm now a business partner as a result of this show. Chris Kermitzos, the co-founder of the organization, brought me in a couple months ago and helping to grow both his organization and this organization.
Your favorite game as a kid was Monopoly, wasn't it?
Actually, it was. Yeah, I learned a lot from Monopoly now that you say that.
You're actually putting all of that into practice.
Yeah. And you know, one thing I learned in Monopoly is you buy everything no matter how much money you have. And it was a lesson I learned early on in the game of Monopoly. Because when I would play as a kid, I'd be real conservative. I wouldn't buy stuff.
Right.
And then the people that always beat me, whenever they landed on a thing, they would buy. And next thing you know, they're controlling you. So even when you don't have money, you mortgage it, you find credit, you find a way to make it work. And it all works out in the end. So
I'm just trying to pass go.
So on the second part of today's show, we'll have Chris Kermitzos in here, frequent contributor to the program, and again, like I said, co-founder of the Tampa Bay Business Owners. He'll be in as a guest host, and we'll be talking with Roseanne Clementi, a developer of the Pad Go Round. She's been on the program before, but she's got a neat little gadget there for the people that have arthritis for use with tablets. So it enables you to use those tablets. It can be a little bit unfriendly for people with dexterity issues in the fingers. So she's gotten some pretty good work out of this thing. I mean, she's been making the rounds, and it's in development now, so she's doing pretty good with it. Just another great entrepreneur here in the Tampa Bay region.
It would definitely help my mom out. My mom has arthritis.
Arthritis. Yeah.
Big words. Our guest already.
A little early in the morning for Josh here. Arthritis. What is that stuff? So
I've only drank about a quarter of my coffee, so give me a few.
Well, we have some great guests here in studio with us for the first hour. I have Kay and Alex Sineg, and I think I got that right on the first try. He's got an S and a Z and an INEGH. That's how he spells his name. So, Alex and Kay, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you for inviting us. This is exciting. You know, Kay said she was a radio virgin, so we're already excited.
Pop the cherry here, I'll have on the air. Alex and Kay.
It wasn't my fault.
Alex and Kay are fellow real estate agents. They are Alex is the founder of the Cooperative Real Estate brand. It's a new brand launched just last year that is unfranchising the real estate offices across the nation, and they've opened 39 offices. So we'll be talking a little bit about that throughout the hour. But Alex has got an interesting story. He's a Hungarian immigrant with no more than a 10th grade education at one point. And now he's an accomplished business professional, sold some 3,000 plus real estate listings throughout the years, and now he's launched a whole nother real estate brand. So very interested to hear his story throughout today's program. So Alex, I got to begin with your background, an Hungarian immigrant. How did you get to the States?
Well, it's very interesting. What happened was, I was obviously born in Hungary, and over the years, we have, been always occupied by somebody. People say, how come Hungarians are so feisty? Well, right from the beginning of time, Attila the Hun, the Turks, the Romans.
My grandfather.
Your grandfather, yeah.
My grandfather, people that know me, he did time in Alcatraz. But that's a whole nother talking point right there.
Well,
and that's why you're the third generation.
That's right. We were always attacked by somebody, and then we had the Germans attack us, and controlled us. And then what happened was after the Second World War, when the Germans lost, obviously, which is a good thing, my father was actually in the war. And the Russians came in and they took over Hungary, because when the war was over, they basically said, we're going to divide Europe and they drew a line. The Americans drew a line and said, this side is ours, that side is yours. And so we ended up on that wrong side of the table.
Okay.
So in 1956, there was a big uprising in Hungary. We had enough of the Russians. We wanted to get rid of them. And, we fought with sticks and stones. We were fighting tanks and machine guns. And in 1956, the Russian tanks came in, drove right over our property, took our property. My father had to escape Hungary because he was in the revolution. So he ended up coming to England. And in England, they said, okay, what we're going to do is the refugees can go to Australia or Canada. He picked Canada. So he was in Canada, and for 7 years, we couldn't get out. We always tried to get out. And then one day, in 1963, we got passports to go to Switzerland to visit my uncle. Well, we just kept going. And we ended up in Canada in 1963. And what's the interesting story about that is that we arrived on Halloween, October 31st. And there was no Halloween in Hungary.
So you had no idea who all these ghouls were in the street, what the heck was going on?
It was the funniest thing. We didn't speak a word of English, okay? We didn't even know how to say hello or yes or no or nothing. So anyways, we were at a Hungarian friend's house.
His first American word was trick or treat.
Actually, what's interesting is that my friends taught us a script. It was called Trick or Treat, give me something good to eat. So that was our script. And we put on these masks, and they gave us these big bags, and we went out and knocked on doors, and we were getting candy. We thought, I looked at my brother, I go, what a great country. They told me there was gold out here, and it's a candy for a kid is gold, right? Anyways, so we did that all night till about 11 o'clock, dragged these big bags home full of candy. We were so excited. Next day around 5 o'clock, me and my brother got dressed again. Okay?
Didn't realize it was just a one-day event, right?
No, we didn't know that. We thought this goes on every day.
Imagine the Confucian Christmas cause.
Yeah, that's right. So we put on these masks, right? We were out 5 o'clock, and I walk out on the street, and I said to my brother, we got here before the competition got here. This is cool. So we went to the first door. We knocked on the door. We went, trick or treat, give me something good to eat. And the lady looked at us very puzzled, and she started talking in English, and we didn't speak anything except trick or treat. And she kept talking and talking, and finally she gave up because we kept saying trick or treat. Went to the kitchen, got some candy, threw it in the bag. So we thought, okay. Went to the next door, knocked on the door. Guy opened the door. He looked kind of angry. We went, trick or treat, give me something good to eat. He's like, blah, 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 you could see that he was really ticked off. We didn't understand anything, so he slammed the door in our face. We left, and I said to my brother, they were much nicer yesterday. I don't know what their problem is, We did this for about an hour. We got some candy, and we got a lot of really angry people. So we were confused. We went home. Our friends laughed their butts off. And they said, oh, yeah, you stupid immigrants, I mean, they said, well, you never told us. This is one day.
You didn't get the cops caught on you, though?
No. It was the weirdest thing. I mean, we were little kids, I was 14 years old, my brother was 3 years younger than me. So anyways, but here's the thing. This is important because people say, well, what does that got to do with real estate? Well, that day I learned 3 very valuable lessons, which listeners, write this down. If you really want to accomplish in life, this is very important. The number one thing I learned was that if you persist, some people will respond positively. The second thing I learned is this. If you don't let people talk you out of your dreams, you can succeed. In our case, they tried to talk us out of getting more candy, but we didn't speak English, so they couldn't talk us out of it. Jamie, you know this. You've been in real estate for a number of years. Yeah. These days, you talk to agents, how's the market? Oh, man, the market sucks, how's the market? Bad. Everything is bad. There's no bad market. I used to say to my agents when I owned an office, I said, the market doesn't suck, you suck, okay? And
I like this guy already,
exactly what I like to tell people.
tells it like it is.
Start the market.
So, anyways, so that was a very important lesson because, if you don't listen to people's negativity. When I got into real estate, my mother told me to get a real job. Friends told me I never succeed. Everybody told me that it's not going to happen. And I didn't listen to them, lucky for me. And anyways, and the third lesson we learned, the right script, even on the wrong day, it works.
Yeah.
That's what I've been teaching realtors for like 32 years, is that you got to learn the language, you got to learn the right things to say, and if you say the right things, things will happen to you.
Yeah, and you got a partner next to you here, resulted in a lasting relationship here, your wife, Kay. So, Kay, how did you two meet?
Oh. Well, we just got married in January of this year.
Oh, you ruined the joke. I was going to say he's been married 39 years. Not to her, though.
42, but not to the same woman.
The same one. I saw him speak a couple of years ago, and he came out on the stage, and, I'd heard about his name, and I had seen him from afar, and I thought, so what? Mm-hmm. I heard about great things about him. Then I heard him speak. He came out, and the only way I can say is that I felt his energy when he came out on the stage. I just felt his energy. And I was like, oh, I get this. I get it, what everyone's talking about. And I'm kind of saying this out loud. And then a good friend, a mutual friend of ours, heard me talking. Because I had a thing, never get involved with anybody at work. And this was a work-related function. Mm-hmm. I really wasn't into bald-headed men. I wasn't into anybody with a tattoo. He had all of the above. And there I am. I didn't like people knowing my business. And I'm kind of voicing myself. And the friend, Vince Arcuri, texted him and said, you need to get over here. I think this chick is interested in you.
So, I always love when a girl refers to herself as a chick.
Yeah. So I
turned
turned around.
About myself.
I turned around and there he was. We started talking, and I don't even know what we talked about, but we talked forever and ever and ever. And then there was a dinner where we just accidentally touched hands under the table, and that was it.
Yeah, next thing you know, you're launching cooperative real estate, and you're now in real estate business together.
Actually, it was funny thing is when I first met her, and she stood up, and she's 5'11" and had 3-inch heels on, so over 6 feet. I'm 5'7", and I looked up at her, and I went, wow, you're tall. She goes, baby, I'm worth the climb.
On that, let me head into the first break here. A very entertaining hour here on tap for us here on That Business Show. In studio with Alexander and Kay Sineg, Cooperative Real Estate, Tampa Bay. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com ProFitComputing.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Crash on westbound Hillsborough at Rome. Also one causing some delays on eastbound Hillsborough approaching the Veterans Expressway. Had a crash in Sun City Center on 301 and 674. Also one in Pinellas County on northbound 66th Street at 102nd Avenue North. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uterick. Hillsborough traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Boys and Girls Club of America.
It's 3 p.m. School's out for America's kids. And when school's out, clubs are in. It's time to support the Boys and Girls Clubs. Visit greatfutures.org.
Today, partly cloudy with a 20% rain chance, high 87. Tonight, showers overnight, low 74. Tomorrow, a 60% chance for strong thunderstorms, high 81.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Talk with Kay and Alexander Sineg with Cooperative Real Estate here in Tampa Bay. And Alex, before you got into real estate, what were you doing?
Well, as I was telling the story, I came to Canada, and then we went to school in Canada. And I didn't like school, and they didn't like me there much either. So we had an agreement when I was going into grade 11 that it was best for everybody concerned that I leave school. So I quit school after grade 10 education and went out to work. I worked as a busboy and a dishwasher, and I worked all kinds of jobs in a factory, and I tried all kinds of things. With a grade 10 education, you don't get much. Mm-hmm. But I was a street kid, got into a lot of fights and arguments and all that kind of stuff. And, a couple of times I got into trouble, and guys start fight, I finish fight, It's like, the judge said to me, he says, hey, what happened? The guy was bigger than me. I'm thinking, okay, he should have been able to take me. Anyways, so I was working all over the place, and I got married very young. I was 20 years old. I got married. I didn't know anything about women, and after 40-some-odd years, I still don't know anything about women.
You're learning. You're learning.
I'm getting there slowly.
God. Listening to this guy makes me believe that my future is going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something.
Awesome.
You got to learn some really, really important language when you're married, okay? Number one, you got to learn, honey, you're right, okay? I'm sorry, and I understand. If you learn those three things, you're okay, all right?
I've got them down, actually.
And he brings me flowers.
And I bring flowers, I mean, after being married for 42 years, not to the same woman, multiple women along the way, It's not bad. So I went to school, and then I got these different jobs, and I started to do really well in the food business, Ended up opening my business. Actually, my first business was a pizza restaurant, which I won in a poker game, which is a long story. Okay.
Never put a business on the line in a game of cards, but okay.
It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. Knew nothing about the pizza business. So then about 3 years later, because I knew nothing about business, I went bankrupt, lost everything, and started all over again. I was flat broke, no money, nothing, and had 3 kids. So I decided, and I was always driven. I used to watch the show, remember Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous,
yes.
Robin Leach? Mm-hmm. Well, I wanted to live that life. So I was always striving, always trying another business. And then I tried another business. I had a trucking business and all that. Lost my buddy on that one too. You
said you drove a school bus too, right?
Oh, yeah, I drove a school bus. Man, that's aggravating. All you school bus drivers out there, I love you, man. You got to have the patience of a saint. I mean, those kids, ooh, wow. Anyways, that didn't last very long either because, based on my personality. But so I kind of bumped around, had different jobs and everything, and I was still married to the same woman. She's a really wonderful woman. We're friends now. I mean, I got 3 kids with her. And what happened was one day I got invited to a seminar, and it was a real estate seminar. And it was ironic as it is, the guy talking in front of the room was also Hungarian. His name was Gabor. Okay. So he stand up in front of the room and he was like, "Real estate, good business. You make lots of money." And I'm thinking, this guy's an idiot. But he was making, this is 1983, and he's making, get this, $1.5 million a year selling real estate. I'm thinking, he's not so bad. He had a grade 9 education. I think, I got a grade 10. I can do better. Right?
Love it when you apply logic like that.
I'm saying, though, man.
So I decided I was going to get into real estate. So I went home that night, woke up my wife and said, "Honey, we're going to get rich in real estate." She said, "You've been drinking again." You know? So anyways, I quit my job the next day, and I started in real estate. And I'll tell you, the first 6 months was amazing. It's absolutely incredible.
Was this in Canada where you're selling?
Always in Canada.
Okay,
that's
right.
in Toronto area.
Okay.
And the first 6 months, I made this much. That's a zero folks. Okay.
Zero.
Actually,
Right.
it's $1.50 Canadian based on the exchange rate. And so, anyways, I didn't make any money for 6 months. I was actually going bankrupt, broke again. And I'm thinking, it can't happen to me again. And then I went to a seminar May 24th weekend, which is actually coming up. It's my anniversary for really kicking off my career. And I met Robert Kiyosaki, you know, the guy from Rich Dad, Poor
I bought
Dad.
his tape deck. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I read all his books and
This
everything.
was like 83?
Yeah, in 1984, actually, May 24th.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad for people
That's
that are familiar
correct.
with him. Yeah.
And for the first 6 months, I only sold one house. It was my own because I couldn't pay the mortgage. That's when interest rates were like 20%,
Yep,
remember?
yep.
So anyways...
He said, "Do you remember Jamie?"
He doesn't
Jamie's like,
remember.
Yeah. Jamie was like 4.
Jamie, she was older than you. Okay.
No, I do remember, though, because my dad reminds me of it all the time.
Yeah,
So.
But what was interesting about it is that he did a training. It's called the DISC, the DISC training program. And I discovered my personality, and I knew what all my problems were. You know, I had like 37 appointments with people. Nobody wanted to buy from me. Right. And then I figured it out. Why? Because of my personality.
Let's point out you're a DIC.
I'm a DIC. Now, you spell it. Don't say it like a word.
Gotcha.
Okay? All right? And anyway, so within the next 9 days, I did 13 transactions. Because all of a sudden I learned about the DISC, and you heard that, you know, people say, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you."
Mm-hmm.
That's called the golden rule. Well, the platinum rule is do unto others as they want it done. And that was my problem. I was treating people the way I like to be treated, so I was aggressive and pushy and obnoxious. And what I decided to do is to start treating them the way they were. I started speaking their language. Mm-hmm. And in the next 6 months, I sold 100 properties, and I thought to myself, wait a minute, I am the company with 63 agents. I did most of the sales, so I bought the company from the guy. Mm-hmm. Here I am in a real estate business now. And I had 63 agents, and I discovered then that, you know, agents are not...
How hard was it to tweak your personality to fit the salesman personality? Was that a lot of, to overcome? I mean, when you shift your sales technique?
Well, here's the thing. Robert Kiyosaki said this to me. He says, if you focus on the other person, you can never make a mistake. Mm-hmm. Agents always focus on the commission and themselves. But if you focus what you do for an individual to help them, then you can succeed.
How do you focus on the other person? Is it more asking questions? What needs can I service?
It's what I do every day with you, man. Seriously,
exactly.
I'm being dead serious.
You're absolutely correct, Jamie. It's like finding out what the person wants. I hear agents say a lot of times in my trainings, buyers are liars and all kinds of stuff like that. The reality of it is agents don't ask enough questions. They don't qualify the customer. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem, that they're not focused on the customer. So if you focus on a customer, it works.
Interesting talk. I got to head into the bottom of the hour break, but we got a lot more here on tap for you in studio with Kay and Alexander Seneg with Cooperative Real Estate Tampa Bay. Coming back from the break, we're going to delve into the sales process a little more, and also we're going to talk a little bit about this new brand that they've started, Cooperative Real Estate. For people that are not familiar with this, they are unfranchising the franchises across the nation in real estate. So interesting concept that they've developed. Also, you're listening to the TBBO Tuesdays edition of the show. We'll be featuring Roseanne Clemente and Chris Kermitsos will be with us at the 8 o'clock hour. Learn more about the program, TampaBayRadio.com. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Call 1-800-LifeLock or visit lifelock.com now and use promo code LifeLock to save 10% on your membership. Call 1-800-LifeLock. From the RP Funding Traffic Network.
Slow traffic on the Howard Franklin into Tampa. Southbound Veterans slow between Ehrlich and Waters. Had a crash on northbound 66th Street, 102nd Avenue. That's off to the side. Also one on Hillsborough Avenue approaching the Veterans Expressway. This one affecting the eastbound direction. See traffic problems. Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uterick. Hillsborough traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Unbound. In places around the world, there are elders who long for community, connection, and the opportunity to live with greater dignity. Sponsor an elder through Unbound and help bring a brighter tomorrow to one person who has helped us all build a better world. Meet one at unbound.org.
1250 winds, Weather Center forecast. A little cooler for today. Mid-80s for the high. We'll see sunshine mixed with clouds. 30% chance of some afternoon showers or storms to kick up. Low back into the mid-70s. A front moving in tomorrow will be cloudy and rainy and even cooler. Upper 70s for the high, and then we'll see upper 70s, low 80s to close out the week. Impact Radio 1250 winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Now, 2 hours a day in our second week of doing the show from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Also, the show's always looking for content. A great way to get into the program. Just send me a message through my contact form over at TampaBayRadio.com.
Yeah, and if you do get in on the 7 o'clock hour, guess what?
Yeah, get more
no
time.
one else shows up. You get the whole hour.
Yeah.
Just like these fine folks here today.
I have people beating down my door to come on in the 8 o'clock hour, but 7 o'clock, they don't want to come in because it's too early for them.
Alex and Kay, they love it because they got the whole hour.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's fun.
We love it
yeah.
because they're amazing.
Yeah, they're full of energy, too. Yeah, so doing a great job on the program this morning. So Alex and Kay Seneg, both with Cooperative Real Estate here in the Tampa Bay region, both fellow real estate agents like myself. Now, Alex, we're talking about the disc profile there in that last segment. I did the disc profile years ago as an employee in industry when I worked in the phosphate industry, and I was a high D. Everything else was low, and I was a high D. I don't know what that means necessarily. I don't know if that's a good thing. It means I'm a type A dominant personality, but I don't know if that's a good sales personality. I don't know. Any recommendations on that?
Well, the things that we discovered over the years, I've been studying it. I actually got trained by Dr. Robert Rome from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a certified human behavior specialist. Woo, that's a big word for a guy with grade 10, right? And the D's and the I personalities are usually the best salespeople. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when I get people in that I talk to, D's and I's are the best salespeople. The reason is because they're outgoing. If you look at the disc profile, D's and I's are outgoing, and S's and C's, they're more reserved. So what happens is the outgoing people usually win out. And being a D-type personality, you're a driver, you're a go-getter, you make things happen. And that's the type of individual that...
Do you employ the disc profile when you're training agents?
Oh, It's a language we speak. It is basically we use it as a language in our company and with everybody. As a matter of fact, I've done trainings in schools. My daughter's school when she was in grade 2, when she was in grade 6, this last year in grade 8. I've done it for car dealerships. I've done it for insurance companies. I train everybody in any kind of business because the DISC helps you to communicate more effectively. So it's not really, it's not really just for salespeople. For anybody and everybody. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you this. When I took the DISC test and I realized who I was, my personal life improved to my children. You know, I used to say to people, I got 4 kids, and I used to say, I treat all my kids equally. Well, that's wrong. You don't treat them all equally. You have to understand their personalities and play to their personality. So what I did, I actually wrote a couple of books, and unfortunately I forgot my book today, but if somebody wants my book, they can contact me, and I can get them a copy of that book. It's designed for real estate people mainly. Okay? But the first part of the book is all about the DISC, and the second part is all about for realtors.
Yeah, because you're a speaker and trainer, too. I mean, not just for, cooperative real estate, textbook real estate. I mean, you train on this topic and everything, and so you're well known across the nation for this, correct?
Oh, yeah. I have a couple of websites where I do online training. I do a lot of live training. One year I was on 117 airplanes going around doing trainings across the country.
So this one personality test changed your entire sales path, your sales career, just knowing how you were and how you needed to be. I find that interesting, and you seem to have adapted to it very easily because it's hard to shift a personality. How did you make that transition?
Well, what you got to keep in mind is that we're in the people business. We're not in the real estate business, really, Jamie. We're in the people business. The product happens to be real estate. So what I had to do is really pay attention to the people. Now, you as a D and me as a D, we're in the smallest segment of society. Okay, that's 10% of the population. And most of the people are I's and S's, about 65% of the population. That means they go by emotion, they go by relationship, they go by feelings. We don't go by feelings, we go by facts and details and information, the D's and the C's. So what happens is, if 65% of the population fits into that category, if you don't learn to play that game and you don't learn to cater to that society, it's like speaking another language. You know, Kay and I own several properties in Costa Rica on the beach. We built houses down there, and that's our vacation place. And you know what? I had to learn some Spanish to communicate with the people. Because in the beginning, all I knew was Americano, muchos dólares. Okay, that was all my Spanish. Okay,
and they treated him really nice when he said that.
So the DISC is a language, and if real estate people and salespeople and people in all walks of life learn this, and I'm telling you, I did the trainings at my daughter's school, the kids get it.
The notes that you got back, and they drew on it, they go, you know, I was about to lose my best friend, and now I understand what's going on, and now I understand why my mom is like this, and why my sister's like this. I mean, these are kids.
I need to update my DISC profile, because I did that when I was like 23, and I mean, it's been 15 plus years.
Is that
since
only for real estate people? Or?
No,
for
it's
anyone.
for anybody.
Let me tell you this.
Maybe I need to do it.
Alex and I recently hired an assistant. And we had like people come in. We gave them the little 24-question DISC profile. You know why? We wanted to hire a C personality. I didn't want a D personality. They're going to butt head. Wanted a C personality. They're efficient. They have their list. They go right down. They take care of everything. I'm an ID. I have no S, no C. So I wanted to hire a C. She's perfect.
Yeah, I want to take it again just to see how my personality may have morphed through the years. I don't know.
It does.
For you. I'll do a test for you. I'll get you the information.
How does that work? Can anybody go online and do a DISC profile for free? Do you have to subscribe to something? How does it work?
You can take one online for money. You can take a free one. There's some websites that have it for free.
Yeah, I did it through the employer years ago.
Alex will hook you up.
Yeah, I want to check this out.
And his book's called Hey, Are You Talking to Me?
Hey, Are You Talking to Me? Where can people find that? Is that on Amazon? Is that in bookstores?
It's actually, they can go on my website. It was on Amazon also, but they can go on my website.
Which website? The Fine Properties in Tampa? Which one?
AlexSineg.com.
AlexSineg.com.
It redirects.
Okay,
Yeah.
does it? Okay.
Yeah.
And Sineg is SZINEGH.
Yeah.
And so now, speaking along the sales process or sales line, can salesmanship be taught? I mean, you've come across a number of different agents in your practices through the years. I mean, have you ever come across somebody and you just have to tell them, listen, man, this ain't for you. You need to go flip burgers somewhere.
Well, actually, it's funny you ask that because, I firmly believe that good salespeople are born and great ones are trained. I'm a perfect example of that. I had to get trained because I was a good salesperson, but I was too aggressive, too pushy, and I didn't pay attention to the customers. So once I learned the techniques and the right way to do it, I became a lot more successful. However, what you just said, there are some people, they can eat my book, okay, and they'll never become a realtor, okay? so the reality of it is, and I've done lots of trainings where I'm in the training, and people pay me like $600-700 to sit in my training, and I'd say to them, you know what, I got great advice for you. Get the heck out of real estate. Yeah. It's not for you.
Yeah.
You'll never be a realtor, okay? The same way, people say, well, if I hang in there long enough, I can be a realtor. Listen, you can sit in your garage all day. You'll never turn into a car, right? So it's like you never turn into a realtor by hanging around other realtors.
So how many real estate franchises and brokerages have you managed and owned through the years?
Well, I started with an independent. I bought that independent company, and I had 63 agents, and very quickly discovered that most of the agents, don't want to work. So about half the agents didn't do anything. So one day I called all the agents into my office, into a big meeting room, and I said, okay, here's the deal. This side of the room, you never sold anything this year. You're all fired. And I said to the other group, I said, now, do I have your attention? And they go, yeah, what do you want? And I created a training program called Boot Camp. And what happened is we did $1.8 million gross commission with 63 people, of which I did $600,000 myself. When I fired half the staff and I ended up with 30 people, I whittled it down to 18. And the following year, we did $1.8 million on gross commission with 18 people.
Wow.
Our efficiency went up dramatically. So if anybody takes my training, I make them work, I make them efficient, and I wanted people that really wanted to work. I used to have agents come in, after the weekend, and you heard this. Oh, man, I was in a listing appointment last night, and, nothing happened. Alex, I'm an abused child. Step out the back, I'll beat the hell out of you, I'll show you,
After meeting this guy, I'll never complain about anything, ever.
It's like, are you kidding me? So anyways, and then I owned other companies, and then I worked for some big ones, the big franchises, Century 21, Remax. And then I spent the last 17 years working for a company called Exit Realty. I was the senior VP for a company across North America. I was the director of training. We started with 2 offices in Canada and 50 agents, and within a matter of 6-7 years, we went to 1,250 offices and about 30,000 agents. So I helped to build that company over the years. And that's how Cooperative came about, is because there's huge fees in the franchises, okay? There's a tremendous amount of fees and money that people pay out. And, some companies are saying agents are the assets of the corporation. They don't really truly believe that. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, if you look at our logo, it's gold and blue. The bottom half is gold. That represents 45% of all the realtors in North America and the brokerages. Reason it's gold because they got all the gold, the big franchise.
So what inspired you then to launch Cooperative Real Estate? I mean, you've been a franchise guy all of your life. Did they finally just piss you off one day and be like, I'm out of this? And now you've got 39 offices across the nation. What was the inspiration for launching a whole different real estate brand?
He woke up and saw resting bitch face in the mirror. It's like, I'm done with this, man.
Well, exactly. The biggest thing is, I've been in real estate for 32 years. I sold over 3,000 properties, and I paid a lot of money to these big franchises, and I see agents struggling. And we also, the biggest reason that, that we started the company is that in the last 3 years, 400,000 agents moved from big franchises to independents.
It's a migration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really is. It's a migration.
And the big problem is in the independent companies and the small companies, they don't have training, they don't have systems, they don't have referrals, they don't have conventions, they don't have all of that stuff, and they're paying all these big fees to the companies, in the franchise. But the independent, they don't have all the resources. We give them training, we give them leads, we give them technology, we give them everything they had of the big guys for a very small fee.
Now, your catchphrase is you're unfranchising the real estate industry.
Correct.
Explain what you mean by unfranchising the real estate industry.
Well, if you're looking to open a real estate office and you want to buy a franchise, any of the big names, okay? You pay $30,000-$40,000 for a franchise. They give you a territory, and then there's fees every month, and out of every transaction that goes to corporate, okay?
Which are paid by the real estate agent. Is taken off their commission.
Yeah. So what we do is we charge a very small fee. So comparatively, you pay $40,000 for a franchise, we charge $3,000 a year. Okay? And a lot of the companies charge, like 6% off the top, $295 per transaction, all goes to corporate. All we charge an agent is $35 per transaction that goes to corporate, and we give them all the training, all the support, all the systems.
And you launched this in what date?
November the 13th.
November 13th, Friday the 13th.
And you have 39 offices
That's
now.
right.
Wow. How are you
all
getting
the way to Hawaii?
Wow.
Our goal for 2016 when we were first sitting down is like, let's try to get 2,000 agents. In this year, we had 2,000 agents within 60 days.
Now, when you say it's not a franchise, that means anybody in the area can open up a cooperative real estate. So there is no franchise protections like if you open a McDonald's, nobody else can open one on that street.
Yeah, but you know what? The reality of it is, if you have a border, and I got this territory, let's say in a big franchise, and the next guy got the territory right beside me, he can open right on the line, I can open on the line, so we're next door to each other. With us, we're not going to put them beside each other. We're going to talk to them. We're going to make sure that they're not going to open. We're not going to approve them to be next door to each other. And the beauty,
a couple of times.
Yeah, it happened a couple of times in franchising. So the beautiful part about that is, you heard of CrossFit?
Yes.
CrossFit in 15 years almost opened 20,000 locations around the world. Why? Because you only belong to a system. We're an affiliation. We're not a franchise.
Just like CrossFit.
Yeah. We don't tell them, we don't dictate to them like the big franchises. We don't tell them that you have to do things in a certain way. We have guidelines and say this is the way you do it. But a person can, like Jamie's real estate company. You've been in business 20 years. You don't have to change your name to Cooperative. You just put up a logo, okay? And you say, I'm an affiliate. And you can use all our systems and everything. You don't have to change your signs. You don't have to change anything.
$3,000, huh? That's it.
$3,000 a year.
Well, and when agents come in to talk to me, they go, oh, well, I'm on an 80-20 or I'm on a 70-30, whatever that is. Then when they really start looking at it, they go, I'm really not on a 70-30 or an 80-20 or a 90-10. They never take that. There's all these other fees. The more money you make, the more you realize how much you're leaving on the table.
Interesting.
So they come, they just come and talk to me. And we have like this amazing, compelling platform that agents can get into. And then our commission structure is called the Agent for Life. They can actually move and change. You can be 70-30, 85-15, 90-10. You can be 100% commission. You can change and go back and forth. So agents are completely in charge of their money and their business. And you know what? They build the brand.
Well, you've definitely launched a great brand here that's taken off. I can't, say anything, negative about that. I mean, you launched something in November, and you've got 39 offices already across the nation. Right. Cooperative real estate here. You can learn more about this, findpropertiesintampa.com. Got to take another break, but when we come back from the break, I'll be finishing up with Kay and Alexander Sinig, again, with Cooperative Real Estate here in the Tampa Bay region. You're listening to That Business Show. Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project. Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank. And that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
Attention medical professionals. Have you heard that Tampa Bay will become the first certified wellness district in the country? Thanks to Jeff Fennick's revitalization of Channelside, the Dr. Whisperer wants to streamline your efforts in preparation. So when you're ready to ignite your practice, use the Dr. Whisperer's public relations expertise to spread the word. Use the Dr. Whisperer to motivate your staff. And use the Dr. Whisperer to recruit and secure leaders within your practice. Call the Dr. Whisperer today at 727-420-2481 or visit thedrwhisperer.com, where they write your prescription for success.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
From the RP Funding Traffic Network.
Good morning. Some delays now on eastbound Hillsborough Avenue approaching the Veterans Expressway. Couple lanes blocked there. Traffic slow from Memorial Highway. Southbound Dale Mabry, also a crash near Limeball. That's slowing traffic out of the Carrollwood area. Northbound 275, about midspan on the Howard Franklin Bridge. It's slow over to West Shore. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Someone you know is suffering from Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. They're dealing with excruciating pain and days when they won't be able to get out of bed. Help someone you know and support the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America at ccfa.org.
Today, partly cloudy with a 20% rain chance, high 87. Tonight, showers overnight, low 74. Tomorrow, a 60% chance for strong thunderstorms, high 81.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And we're back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., and also video streamed live on the web. Visit TampaBayRadio.com, and you can click on Watch Live Stream to see the video here live in the studio each morning. Talking to Kay and Alexander Sineg with a Cooperative Real Estate. Now, Alex, y'all are very involved in charities also. Share with the community your involvement.
Great, yeah, we are. And like I started to tell my story that, about being married, and then, the disc, it ties into it because opposites attract, but opposites attack. I'm a D personality. My first wife was an S personality. Wonderful, sweet woman, but just didn't click. So after we broke up, I met my second wife, who was amazing. She was an ID personality, and that's the best kind of person I get along with. I'm
an ID.
She's an ID. We're perfect. Not too much D, but enough D that she's strong. I can't push her around. She slapped me around a little bit once in a while. But the thing about it is, she's a lot of fun.
For you, though.
He likes it.
Yeah. She's a lot of fun to be. And so I was married to her for 23 years. And about 8 years ago, she passed away. She had breast cancer. So luckily and fortunately, I have a little girl. She's 13 now. She was 6 at the time. And she's spitting image of her mother. Yep. And so we were blessed that she came along. And, out of something bad, because my wife had cancer, came something wonderful like my daughter. Her name is Chantel. Mm-hmm. And so we got involved in charities like breast cancer awareness. We raised a lot of money for that. We also involved in Habitat for Humanity. We help people with houses. We like to give back. We have different charities that we donate to. One of the big ones is Wounded Warriors. I am Canadian, actually. Now I'm American.
Oh, you're American. On 9/11 last year, he became a U.S. citizen.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of money and lawyers and everything to get into this country legally, okay? I spent a lot of money opening businesses, giving people jobs and everything. And sometimes it bothers me when people, talk about this whole immigration thing. I did everything the right way. Yeah. And I got here, and then when I came to Florida, the interesting thing is, I did my real estate course, and you can't get a real estate license without a grade 12 education. so I had to go get my GED. Well, being a deep personality, I booked my appointment for Wednesday to do the GED. I bought a book from the bookstore called GED for Dummies. I read it for 2 days, went to take the test. And I couldn't do grade 5 math because my daughter needed help with that, but now I had to do grade 12 math. So there was a question in there that said, if A is 6 and B is 7, what's the value of X? I said, who cares? I haven't used it for like 45 years. I don't need it now. But I got my GED, I got my license, and everything is great.
So you came to America at what age?
I in the U.S., I came in 2000.
Canada. I should say. I'm sorry.
And then I came to the U.S. in 2002 because my wife was from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Okay.
We moved to Las Vegas. We had a franchise for the previous company, Exit Realty. And
did you get Canadian citizenship too, or didn't?
Oh no, I got my Canadian citizenship.
Was that easier to get than the American?
Oh, piece of cake.
Really?
I was under 16.
I know people go a long time trying to get American citizenship.
No, I was only 16, and I became a citizen because of my dad. So then to get the U.S. citizenship was much tougher.
Much like your wife, it's worth the climb, though, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I'm a U.S. citizen, and I'm excited about that. Everything worked out really good. And so we do a lot of charities and
Homes for Heroes.
Homes for Heroes.
Oh my gosh, that's the big one right now.
Right now, I'm working with Homes for Heroes, where we firemen, military, teachers, policemen.
Anyone in the medical industry,
people,
right?
We give them special discounts and everything to help them to buy a home. I'm working with several Homes for Heroes people. Some are veterans that I just sold a house yesterday to a veteran, and helped them and give him some money towards the closing and all that. So it's a great program. I like to join different organizations. I'm in an investment organization here in Tampa Bay. Also with the Indo-U.S. Chamber of Commerce. I work with a lot of Asians also. I'm in the American Asian Real Estate Association. And being from a different country, I appreciate people coming into this country, and I appreciate all the country has to offer to them.
Well, you've done a great job, and you did all this on a 10th grade education. When did you get the GED?
Oh, it was like a couple of years ago.
Just a couple of years ago. And by the way, this dude over here, he's 66. He's telling me he's got sons that are like 46, 47. Here I'm thinking that he's like 50 years old, 66. What do you attribute that?
He could give Dr. Garco a run for his money.
Yeah. So what do you attribute that as a young look to, man?
Oh, a lot of drugs and alcohol. No, just kidding. Just kidding. No, it's a good life. I'm always happy and excited. And
we laugh every day.
I can tell.
We laugh. And as a matter of fact, we built houses even in Costa Rica, and that's our retirement place. We got some beautiful places.
During the break, Rick said he was an S personality. I said, I'm probably an S personality. He said, no. He said, go ahead and tell him.
You're an ass.
On that, we got to wrap it up. Alex and Kay Seneg with Cooperative Real Estate here in the Tampa Bay region. Thank you all both so much.
Thank you very much.
We really appreciate you, Jamie.
Great segment. Learn more about them, findpropertiesintampa.com. Coming back from the break, I got Chris Krimitsos in studio and Roseanne Clemente, both with the Tampa Bay business owners. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
The opinions, viewpoints,
It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Jamie is a leading Tampa Bay real estate agent and featured on the Wall Street Journal's list of top 100 real estate agents in the nation. Jamie invites you to list your home with him today and learn more at tampabayradio.com. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
And we're kicking off hour number 2 of That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. So if you're tuning in, you're late to the program as we're starting each morning, 7 o'clock in the morning in week number 2. And so thank you all the listeners, show partners, past guests who make this show possible each and every day. Not to mention my staff and also the very funny Josh Vozda over there running the live stream each and every morning. So keep in mind you can watch the video by heading over to tampabayradio.com. Click on Watch Live Stream, and you can see us guys in here each and every morning. Also over on tampabayradio.com, all shows available on demand, and that's the best way to get in touch with me. I love feedback. I love hearing from the listeners. And so if you'd like to come on to the program, everybody's welcome in here as a guest free of charge. Feel free to get in touch with me using the contact form over at tampabayradio.com. If you caught that last hour, a very entertaining and also informative segment as we were talking with Alexander and Kay Sineg with Cooperative Real Estate. So very good guests. Hopefully we'll get them back in here more and more often on the program. So
that guy's my hero.
I have an inkling that he's going to be up for Best on Air for the Business Show Awards dinner at the end of the year.
I can't wait for that.
It's going to be hard to beat him. He was a pretty entertaining interview. So if you missed that first hour, head over to tampabayradio.com and catch the replay, or head over to the YouTube channel. We get the video up by about 10 o'clock. In studio with me on the second part of the hour, co-founder of the Tampa Bay Business Owners, Chris Kermitzos in studio. Chris, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Jamie, for having me.
Chris often steps in as the guest host for the program. Did an excellent job for me when I was out a couple of weeks ago when I couldn't even talk, and I tried to come in that Monday morning. I was horrible, man. I was half delirious, couldn't talk.
I'm revealing a lot of stuff.
Like I said, I'm a warrior. I don't like to call in sick, but when you're on radio and you got to have a voice for it, well, it's better to stay home when you can't talk. So we got a great show planned for you in studio today. Roseanne Clemente is with us. She is a developer of the Pad Go Round. So this is an interesting little device for users of tablets that have arthritis and other dexterity issues with their hands. And so she's joining us right now. Roseanne, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me back again. I really appreciate the opportunity to come speak with you and your audience.
Yep. And Roseanne was on the program last year talking about the Pad Go Round. And Roseanne, tell us what has transpired since that appearance.
Well, when I was here last, I had a prototype and a vision. Now I have actual product in my warehouse. It's packaged. This is the large one. I have 2 sizes, so we have obviously 2 different packages.
If you're watching up on the video stream, we got this up on the video stream, and if you can always head over to tampabayradio.com and see the video of this.
Package.
Hey, why don't you hand that to me and I'll set up a different shot and help you out.
We'll put this over there with Josh.
Appreciate it.
So describe what this is exactly.
It's a device that you can attach to your tablet that allows you to put 2 to 4 handles on most electronic tablets. So right now I have an iPad, the full-size iPad here, and I have it set up on your desk on a tripod. On the back of the base of my Pad Go Rounds is the universal insert for camera accessories. So anything that will attach to a camera will attach to the back of the Pad Go Round. So it allows you to get more versatility from your tablet than you're getting right now.
Okay, so you can easily attach that to any tripod then with that universal mount?
Any tripod. As a matter of fact, I'm constantly going on the internet trying to find other devices to attach to it, and I have a couple of musician friends, and I would like that they use tablets during their performance. So I want to try to get them the Pad Go Round, and I just bought a mic stand clamp that has a 1/4-20 on the back so that you can screw it on the Pad Go Round and then attach it to the mic.
So this device is not necessarily just for people that have arthritis and dexterity issues, although that's a huge selling point to the apparatus, but anybody can benefit from the Pad Go Round then, correct?
Anyone that wants to get a firm, comfortable grip. The beauty for me of the Pad Go Round is that it's not stuck as a stand. You know, most tablet holders are a stand or a mount. You can take the tripods off or the mounts, and you can then hold it. I mean, you can get a firm, comfortable grip on the tablet.
Yeah, if you're watching the stream, there you go. That's exactly what it looks like. That's an in-package product shot right there.
So what was the inspiration for the development of this product? When did this idea hit you?
It hit me when I started reading voraciously from an electronic device, and I discovered how little margin there is on the sides of the tablets to hold them without changing the page. And if you do have arthritis, which I do, this is not a comfortable position, especially if you have arthritis in your thumbs, which I do. So then as you're holding it, the pressure goes up on the thumbs. So it was uncomfortable. And then I fidgeted a lot. I kept switching hands, and I don't have big enough hands.
That was my complaint with tablets, and it still is you're using them and you hit the buttons accidentally because you're trying to hold the thing.
Right.
And so this is a perfect solution for that problem. Now, where is this product made and manufactured? How did you get to that stage?
I found a local a company called Inventors Launchpad that has helped me get it manufactured. So it's being made in China. It was shipped over. It was a long journey. Talk about a slow boat from China. It was quite an eye-opening experience to get it shipped. They did a great job though. And I have them in a warehouse not far from here on Pearl. I rent a warehouse.
Now, who did the design? Was this just an idea in your head and you said, I just want something that makes the tablet easier to use, or did you draw this up on paper yourself and give it to a developer?
I kind of had an idea, and at that time I was reading from a Kindle, and so I found after I had two designs that didn't work, that I spent a significant amount of money on. Somebody at one of the plastics companies said, hey, you really need a CAD designer that understands the plastics industry, because I was getting designs that weren't manufacturable. So I found an incredible CAD designer in Largo. His name is, I'm having a brain cramp.
Not a problem. But you found somebody who knew how to get the product to the market.
Joe Navarro.
There you go.
I'd like to give him credit.
I have brain cramps all the time.
And he, between the two of us, we went through several iterations, and thank goodness for 3D printing, because if it hadn't been for 3D printing, I would never be able to afford to get to this point, because you would have to make the molds, and which are very expensive. Make the molds, do a run, and then find out, that wasn't the right handle. So we went through several handles, and we experimented with several handles to see, what we thought would be the most.
What's the cost for printing one of those things? I mean, 3D printing is a new technology on market, and nobody really knows anything about that.
Well, it's not what you think, because people go say, go to the library. You can use the 3D printer at the library. Not for something like this that has to hold
that's for
a tablet.
Plastic dinosaurs.
Yeah, and keychain, things. It cost me about $250 per pad go round to print them.
Wow. And so how do you program those things? I guess you just leave that up to the...
I have a friend that's into 3D printers. You really got to know what you're doing, because they break all the time.
Well, and it all hinges on the CAD design. If the CAD design is good, and it's in the universal software that the 3D printer can
so the
accept.
engineer programs all that stuff in there. There's
Right.
really nothing you can do other than just let them kind of take your design, and then they've got to pretty much structure it out on however they get the input into
There's
the
a lot of
printer.
details.
Right, there are a lot of details, and I found a company in California that printed them for me, and
Wow.
it worked out. I mean, the long distance wasn't a problem, and they were really good. But you can only do so much with a prototype. They're brittle, and they oxidize. The material oxidizes over time, so they become more brittle. And I couldn't show them anymore. I mean, how do you show a product to somebody that's breaking while you're demonstrating it? So I kind of had to take a time out and wait for the finished product to get here from China. And
I gotta get one of these for my mom. She wears like the bowling gloves thing because
Right.
of her arthritis. It's really bad, and this is an awesome invention. I gotta applaud you, because I've watched her suffer since I was a kid. And this is amazing. And Mother's Day is coming, so
Right. I wanted to remind
you.
you, it's a great Mother's Day gift. You can get it at my website, padgaround.com. I have an Amazon page. You probably have to put in the search Pad Go Round, because there are a number of tablet holders, and because I haven't sold them enough at Amazon, I'm not getting,
So do you need reviews on that?
Yeah, that'd be great.
That helps the ranking.
That helps your
I'll
ranking.
definitely get one, and I'll definitely leave a review.
Okay.
That's good for local inventor.
So
That's good to know.
Eventually, I would like not to sell through Amazon because there are a number of problems with Amazon. They dictate the shipping, and I'm losing $1 or $2 on the shipping with Amazon.
Interesting. Now, do you have a patent on the product too?
I do. I have a patent, and the product is extremely versatile. If I want to make changes to the handles, I want to eventually make the handles so that you could leave it in your case, the OtterBox or the Life Proof whatever they're called. I've had a number of people say, I would love it, but I want to leave my tablet in the case. And right now it won't accommodate that. So I look forward to being able to come up with another design on the handle to be able to accommodate cases.
What was your background before you became a product developer and an entrepreneur?
Nothing to do with this. Again, this is a product that came from necessity, and I discoured the internet to look for something that would put handles on electronic tablets, and there was nothing. And I thought, by golly, I'm going to do it. And then I had people say, "Wow, if it'd be that neat and everybody wanted it, it'd already be there." You hear that from people, but it's not the case.
Yeah, you got to push through all those.
You got to put a lot of hard work, and I saw Roseanne put a lot of hard work.
It's a lot of hard work. And then most of the time you keep asking yourself, "Are you really this crazy?" I am an environmental consultant. That's what pays the rent right now.
That's way cooler than my former profession. I was a plumber.
I'm still an environmental consultant. I'd like to retire.
I'm no longer a plumber.
Okay. I'd like to retire up to full-time marketing the Pad Go Round, because it is my heart now. It's my passion.
Well, you've got it to market. You got it a patent. You've done an amazing job with it to date. So let me take a break. I want to ask you a little bit about funding and development, and also the marketing and how you're getting that product, out in front of people. That's always a challenge for developers. Currently talking with Roseanne Clemente, developer of the Pad Go Round. You can pick this product up and learn more about this, padgoround.com, and also in studio with Chris Kermitzos. And we'll talk a little bit about the Tampa Bay business owners on the second part of today's show, and we'll get some stories out of Chris, too. He's an excellent storyteller as well. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
Attention medical professionals. Have you heard that Tampa Bay will become the first certified wellness district in the country? Thanks to Jeff Fennick's revitalization of Channelside, the Dr. Whisperer wants to streamline your efforts and preparation. So when you're ready to ignite your practice, use the Dr. Whisperer's public relations expertise to spread the word. Use the Dr. Whisperer to motivate your staff. And use the Dr. Whisperer to recruit and secure leaders within your practice. Call the Dr. Whisperer today at 727-420-2481 or visit thedrwhisperer.com where they write your prescription for success.
From the RP Funding Traffic Network.
Couple problems on southbound Dale Mabry, one south of Van Dyke, this one blocking a lane or two. Also at Linebaugh, there was an earlier crash, now off to the side. Traffic still slow through that area. Southbound Veterans slow from Ehrlich to around Waters, and a crash in northern Pinellas County along southbound US 19 at Beckett Way. See traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uterick. Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Unbound. Around the world, there are young people who face a difficult decision: continue their dream of education or drop out to help support their families. In a single moment, you can help them write a new story. See potential, not poverty, at unbound.org.
Today, partly cloudy with a 20% rain chance, high 87. Tonight, showers overnight, low 74. Tomorrow, a 60% chance for strong thunderstorms, high 81.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And we're back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Now weekday mornings, starting at 7 o'clock in the morning and running clear through to 9 o'clock. So great demand and listenership for the program. It's become a staple in the Tampa Bay business community. I get talked about all the time amongst business professionals and people wanting to get on the program. So thank you all for helping make the show a success. I'm the only one on the radio doing this right now. Everything else is political news and sports talk. So wanted to give a show back to the community, something with a positive message each and every morning. Got tired of all the professional complainers, as I call them, all the political talking heads, especially in an election year. You can't watch any news channel right now without hearing an update on the election. It's driving me up a wall.
Yeah,
so
I haven't watched the news in months.
It's incredibly boring and just mind-numbing.
Yeah.
There's so many great things that go on each and every day around the country, and we've got to hear about Ted Cruz and Donald Trump and Sanders and Clinton.
You want to see a good
any updates with Cruz?
He's going to be knocked out today. It looks
and
like
his running mate.
Yeah, Fury. Well, he announced you're going to get me on political talk here.
Listen, I just want to say when that was announced, I was like, really? The guy's announcing a running mate?
It's a circus.
That's pretty gutsy, I'll tell you.
You know, it's a
Trying
circus.
to pull it all out.
But we don't want to. We don't want to go down that path there, but nonetheless, this is a show
watch
with
a good fight. Go watch Monday Night Raw.
I watched a little bit of that.
Yeah,
I watched a little bit of that last night. Finally,
it's about Pat Go Around. Okay.
All right. Hey. You get me off topic here. Yes, that's right. We are talking with
We're about
Roseanne.
to go into wrestling.
Chris, good job, man.
Thank you.
Well, if there's some use for the tablet during a wrestling match, like keeping score or whatever,
I can see them knocking somebody over the head.
No,
knocking somebody over the head with that
I know that the PGA keeps scores on tablets. I'm trying to get their attention.
Well, the thing you didn't mention that I really like about the Pad Go Round is, yes, it's for a certain subset, but you could also hold it when you're filming. So when parents are watching a game, or a lot of times you want to have a Steadicam, that equipment's actually pretty expensive a lot of times. Even if it's like cheaper, it's expensive, where the Pad Go Around is an alternative solution that you could hold it in steady shot, your kid's game. So that's a different use that I think is pretty practical.
Speaking of which, I'd never used my tablet to video anything before, and my son had his what's called a Finney flight. He was leaving Randolph Air Force Base, so that he was taking his last flight in the T-38 to move on to another base. So I said, what the heck? I ought to use my own product. And I don't know if you can see, there's a lanyard on it. There are lanyard loops on the corners of the base of my Pad Go Round. So you can hang it around your neck. If you're not doing anything at the moment, you can let it fall, rest on your chest or belly or whatever how tall you are, and then you pick it up and then you do your thing. With most of the Androids and the Apple products, the lens is over to the right or the left.
Yeah, so it's nice and wide open.
It's wide open.
Yeah, you
And
planned it out really well to have the camera open.
Right.
There.
Yeah.
Well, again, when I was filming him, taking taxing out of their jets are not in a hangar; they're under a big canopy or like a carport. I mean, the jet wash about knocked me over, but I had a good firm grip on my tablet.
Yeah, those things are expensive when you drop them too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to replace. Does the lanyard come with it, or is that a separate?
Right now, I'm providing a lanyard
Nice, smart.
and a little tabletop tripod until I run out of them.
Wow.
With every purchase.
So a big question with any product development is the funding. Are you self-funding this? Did you get investors involved?
I'm self-funded.
Wow.
My retirement is in this.
Well, Roseanne did a crowdfunding campaign. She
Yeah.
was on Bay News 9. Like she's. What did you learn from the crowdfunding, by the way?
That it's a really big marketing effort, and that Kickstarter is not a grassroots thing anymore. People who go on and get attention and get on the front page of Kickstarter have put thousands, not 2,000, not thousands of dollars in their videos, and you just can't compete.
Yeah, so you got to have a professional, and you got to almost build your audience before you're almost bringing it to Kickstarter.
They
right?
said that you should have at least 30% of your donations already up front, already ready when you launch.
Are there legitimate things on Kickstarter these days though? Because I see people like putting things up there like fund my trip to Africa or something.
Well, they have GoFundMe accounts which are for
that.
causes.
Is that what that? I mean, but that's
and then
not even
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter's pretty much still products.
Do they regulate that somehow? Can anybody go up there and put?
Yeah, but it's
something
so
up?
hard. I mean, Roseanne knows there's regular, but it's so hard to make your goal. You really got to be passionate about it and have, like you said, good videos, and it's tough, right?
It's tough,
and you got to make your goal to get the money. They don't release the money unless you make the goal.
So
right?
I didn't get the money. Oh, the other thing about Indiegogo, with the flip side of it
I
is
like Indiegogo.
If you don't make your goal, you pay a little bit more percentage.
9%.
Right, but the whole point of making your goal is to be able to fulfill on what you've told people you're going to give them.
Correct.
Right, so if you don't raise enough money, you may not be able to fulfill. So I see
product, sure.
Right. So I see the value in Kickstarter's model of making sure.
Now, do the people that fund stuff on Kickstarter, or do they become somehow like a stakeholder, or is it just a donation where they're just trying to help?
You want to help that person.
Okay, so
you might buy. There's prizes and stuff.
You can just donate on Kickstarter, but most people give, for a certain dollar amount, I was going to give people a pad go round.
Okay, so you can give them stuff back. Okay.
Another dollar amount, you could get 2 pad go rounds. So so most people are giving you an early opportunity to get the product.
So which of the crowdfunding campaigns was the most effective for you, or were any of them effective?
No, I only attempted Kickstarter because it's still expensive.
You got pretty close though, right? Halfway through?
No, I was trying to raise 30 and I only got 6.
All right, well, 6,000.
I wonder how many people actually succeed in raising their goals on Kickstarter.
There's some successful people. Yeah, I think they said 3%.
I've seen video games.
3%, I didn't know that. That's
well, you've done well with your product to date. I mean, you've gotten this thing out of your head into a design and a product, and it's on market and available for sale on padgoround.com. Where else can people find this?
At Amazon, just search on Amazon for Pad Go Round, and I have it at eBay.
Okay, and what's the cost? First of all, is there just one design, or is there a product line of this, or just one design right
It's
now?
one design, 2 sizes. So the small one fits tablets about the size of the iPad mini.
Okay.
The large one fits tablets the size of the conventional iPad, not the iPad Pro. So the large one is $49.99 and the small one is $39.99.
Well, definitely a useful product and solving a problem within the marketplace. A great entrepreneur, Roseanne Clemente. Thank you so much for being in
Jamie.
studio.
Thank you so much.
On this TBBO Tuesdays. Again, learn more about this, padgoround.com. Coming back from the break, me and Chris will do a little talk here about the Tampa Bay business owners and share some stories about his life in the media as well, and some other stuff as well. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tile, stone. what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Bigger than her village. Right now, there's an elder in Guatemala who dreams of a life of greater dignity and less loneliness. You can help change the future of one person in a single moment. Begin the change at unbound.org.
1250 winds, weather center forecast. A little cooler for today. Mid-80s for the high. We'll see sunshine mixed with clouds. 30% chance of some afternoon showers or storms to kick up. Low back into the mid-70s. A front moving in tomorrow will be cloudy and rainy and even cooler. Upper 70s for the high, and then we'll see upper 70s, low 80s to close out the week. Impact Radio 1250 winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
We're back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business, weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. And learn more about the program over at TampaBayRadio.com. Also, it's TBBO Tuesdays, a weekly feature where we highlight some of the members from the Tampa Bay business owners, and that's all thankful to Chris Krimitsos, the co-founder that he and his wife, Katie, founded 8 or 9 years ago, and has grown into an organization of nearly 300 professionals from in and around the Tampa Bay region. Many great events going on each and every month. If you head over to tbbo.org/events, you can see the events calendar, or just tbbo.org. We have a button on there that says join us, and you can apply for membership, and we are always looking for a great professional members from around the community to get involved with us and also contribute back. It's not a networking group where you go in there and you're going to be sold a bunch of different things and people passing out business cards. It's a collaborative community where one another learns from one another, and we also have some fun events that go on each and every month, including Christmas in July, a big social coming up in July. We'll talk more about that in the coming weeks, but we just announced that yesterday for potential sponsors, and we'll get more of that in a coming show. So Chris, amazing storyteller. He's also a podcaster and founder of the Florida Podcasters Association. Spent time years ago doing public access television, did a couple of programs, and now he's founded TBBO. An amazing professional here, and he's also the founder of Story Jam Theater.
All right, enough. You're building me up to where I cannot succeed.
That's why I gave him the nickname Ninja. It sums it all up.
But he's got some stories he wants to share with us.
Well, you just mentioned something that triggered a story. The Bleep and Truth, the political debate show I used to have. People might not be familiar, but at one point there was a fight that broke out on that show. One of our pundits threw a chair at Joe Redner on a live TV. Right. So just recently, MTV actually contacted me, and they licensed out the clip for Ridiculousness, which is Rob Dyrdek's show where they show crazy clips.
So this is coming back into the media again?
Yeah.
Because this was like 8 or 9 years ago, wasn't it?
Every year someone calls me. I've licensed out to
because the
Japan,
event happened years ago.
True TV.
When did it actually happen? Like 8 or 9 years ago?
6.
So about 9, 8,
10 years ago.
Wow, or 10 years ago. Wow, yeah. So it's been a while. So MTV contact you. So what's going on here?
These shows like to buy clips. Believe it or not, they find you on YouTube. They call you up, and then you negotiate, and you get paid for your clips. So it's pretty cool. So it'll be on MTV, and they'll be talking about it.
Very cool. And for people that aren't familiar with that, it was a political debate show, and he had Joe Redner, and who was the other one? Tony Katz. And I'll let you share the story with the audience.
Oh, we just had him debating. It was Israel was the topic, of course, one that everybody could agree on. So the two of them took sides, and they hated each other that they actually flipped their sides. So it was like, imagine how the one person feels, but they debate the opposite, and the other person does the same thing. So the Republicans became a Democrat. The liberal Democrat became the Republican just to screw with the other person. So if you could understand how much they really didn't like each other, you could cut the tension with a knife. And then, Joe Redner.
So who flipped the script first? Was it Redner or Katz?
The guy, Tony Katz, called Joe Redner a liar. And Joe Redner, one thing you don't call him is a liar. He'll tell you, hey, you ask him, hey, Joe, did you do drugs? Yeah, back in blah, 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 I did this. Now he's a raw foodist, really, clean. So I guess that hit a chord. So Joe then said, if I'm a liar, tell everybody, you're fat, right? And he went, and then when it devolved into childhood, antics, the guy literally ripped the mic off. This is live TV, so there's nothing I can do, right? And just throws the mic off. The cameras are rolling, so whatever's going on. And then he went past the lighting grid. If you've ever been in a studio, everything's lit up like a halo. You can't see past the lighting grid.
Yep.
And my camera guy, being the brave soldier that he is, he just basically watched as the guy picked up a chair and swung it across the set. And I said, why didn't you stop him? He goes, I don't know. I was just looking at him throwing the chair. And he threw it on live TV. Everybody thought we staged it because it was too perfect of
it was right at the end as your logo
It was right
up.
at the last 10 seconds. Yeah. My producer never hits the mark with our logo. It literally it's so unreal. They thought we staged it, but you can't stage. Like, what am I going to do? Are you going to throw a chair at him? He's going to be okay, everything. The guy almost got killed. Luckily, the chair hit the table first.
Yeah, it hit the table before it hit him.
And shattered the mug, and it softened the blow when it hit his head, yeah.
And then next thing you know, you got to the night show, you got CNN calling you.
300 media outlets, man. It was crazy. I went from no one knew what I was doing to the next day, I was like, what are you up to? I got any guest I wanted to get after that.
If I was that camera guy, I'd have been like, this is going to look great on my demo reel. So that's probably why you did it.
My camera guy was like a Green Party, a good friend of mine, but he just freezes. He was chicken.
So what's this story about prisoners in Key West? You said you had a story about prisoners in Key West. What is this?
We went, Kitty and I, go out to Key West all the time, and we try and find sideshow attractions to basically, do something cool. So she finds this like petting zoo, and it's only open one day a month. And we happened to be driving in on the exact day. Literally, there was a half hour before they closed. But the only problem is we're driving into the jail. And I'm like, Katie, I don't feel comfortable driving into the jail. But as we park under the jail, because it's like there's parking underneath the jail, you see like parents bringing their kids through this parking lot, and they're walking. So I'm like, let's just follow the people with the kids and see what's going on. And there we walk in, and there's a petting zoo. It's like the only program in the country with prisoners in orange jumpsuits taking care of sloths, taking care of... And I said, where are you guys getting all these exotics? They go, this is the Keys, man. People have all kinds of stuff in their house, and we have to confiscate it. And then I'm like, and I said to the lady, does this go on everywhere? She goes, no, we're the only program that has prisoners that take care of animals.
That's
and
a real zoo right there.
It makes them more peaceful, I guess. Not the animals, the prisoners. And it was, I'll tell you what, it was probably one of the coolest experiences just to go and see that kind of program. But I mean, just look it up. It's once a month they open up to the public, and you'll see families with their little kids. You walk through, and I was told that sloths are pretty vicious. They bite, even though they're slow.
I was always mesmerized by the three-toed sloth in school. I did a few reports on them. Whenever something came up with regard to doing a report on an animal, I always like to talk about the three-toed sloth. I don't know what attracted me to the sloth. So,
they had two of them. Yeah, I just remember that, and it was really cool. I mean, it's free,
Now you're a huge lover of animals. I know you talk about animals quite a bit. You had 300 birds at one point or something. You said.
Yeah, my dad. This is gonna sound terrible.
And this is in the house at one time.
My dad got prostate cancer, and when he got this was in New York, and when he got prostate cancer, my dad was one of those fathers, you can't do this, you can't do that. But when he got cancer, he thought he was going to die. I would go to the doctor with him. Doctor's like, yeah, this is fully treatable. Your dad's going to have it's a 99% chance he's fine. We caught it really early. I'm like, all right. So I said, I caught my dad in a weak moment. I said, hey, Dad, can I breed those birds in the basement like I always wanted to? So he's in this moment. He's like, yeah, absolutely. Do whatever you need to do. So now I take up, my friend and I just bought a Pathfinder. We literally drive like 2,000 miles down to Florida, back up to New York. I bought like 500 birds on this trip, right? Don't even ask me how. We're driving with birds just flying in our heads in the van. We get back home, right? And we build out. I buy rolls of cage from Lancaster County, Pennsylvania from the Amish, right? So it was funny because we go there. And the lady's got a bonnet, and my buddy's like, he starts laughing. He's like, these people are Amish. I'm like, dude, respect the Amish. You know, she might be the owner of the place. He's like, dude, I don't want to say what he said, but he's like, dude, there's no way. Turns out her family owns this huge freaking manufacturing plant making galvanized wire and stuff. So anyways, we buy the rolls. My buddy and I are out in the front yard. All my dad sees is like, you know, he's recovering. He's like, whatever, they're making cages. We built 500 cages, throw them down in the basement, throw like a watering system. I'm doing like Edstrom nipples, or the nipples they use to feed chickens and commercial. So I'm creating this whole thing, right? So now my dad, like 6 months later, he's able to walk again, you know, like, because when you have prostate, it's pretty painful.
He had no idea what was going on.
No, so now he makes it down to the basement, and he's like, what? You know, I'll spare what he said.
How old were you?
I was like 19. He was like, he couldn't believe that in like the 4 or 5 months that he was out, you know, recovering, we had literally created a commercial operation for breeding like cockatiels and lovebirds, small birds, in the basement.
Was the plan to resell these birds, or was it just like that birds?
It was. We made some fatal flaws. You can't put 500 birds in a basement without exhaust, okay? You could barely breathe. We had a little exhaust fan.
Especially with all the, you know, the droppings.
Everything. Yeah. Even though I was cleaning it every day, it just wasn't good for your health. So, and I had a colony cage. I was like doing experimenting. Hey, if we colony breed, let's see if we get more, you know, all that stuff. But yeah, that lasted basically from him seeing it. It took about a month for everything. That's why I moved to Florida. I was like, I'm out of here.
So what happened to the 500 birds? Did you just set them free?
No, you can't do that. I actually found a guy online in Ohio that's like, hey, I'll trade you a green-winged macaw for your cockatiels. I want to colony breed them. So I put them in a carrier. I shipped them out to Ohio, and then he shipped me a macaw, and we were all very happy.
This guy gets in trouble with animals all the time.
By the way, it's all above board.
He got involved in some deal where the mountain lion or something.
Okay. So I met a guy that was kind of a con artist, and he said to me, "Hey, we could buy a mountain lion, okay?" And I said, "A mountain lion?" He goes, "Yeah, that and a coati. A coati is like, it looks like half raccoon, half monkey. It's South American raccoon, basically." And I said, dude, isn't a mountain lion dangerous? He goes, no, man, it's like a Labrador. It's like, I found one that's like 6-7 months. It's like 60 pounds. And I was a kid. I mean, I was a pretty gullible kid. I'm like, oh, yeah, that sounds cool. How much can we get it for? It's like about $1,000. So I said, all right. So he goes, I just need you to give me the money. This is how smart I was. He goes, give me the money. I'll make the deal, and then we'll go pick it up. I'm like, great. So this guy arranges the deal. I give him the $1,000, and then when we go there, he goes, I just need you to sign the paperwork here at the airport, LaGuardia Airport. So I'm like, okay, sure. Here's my driver's license, my ID. Luckily for me, okay, this guy then goes to sell the mountain lion to his friend at the reptile museum. And I said to him, why would a reptile museum want a mountain lion? He goes, I don't know. He goes, but they want it. I'm like, all right. So I had the mountain lion in my house for like a day. I opened up the cage, and my mom's crystal everything just shattered. Like the thing just jumped all over the house. And then to put it back in, it was the dumbest thing. I'm not gonna say it was smart, but anyways. So 60-pound mountain lion is like a Labrador. I don't think so. It's like full. It's like having like Arnold Schwarzenegger, 10 of them condensed into a little body. I mean, the thing was so powerful. We had to feed.
Were you injured?
No.
You had jumped up on your back and stuff too, right?
It did, but we were able to get it off. I just remember my cousin coming in, and he's like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, we're playing with the mountain lion. He's like, yeah, right. So he comes in the house. Dude, his back hit that wall and made it through to like the nearest room as fast as he could. He goes, you're out of your mind, dude. It's like, he was my older cousin. But anyways,
remind me to decline any invitation to go hang out with Chris in a nightclub.
Guys, this is when I was younger. So long story short, he went to go sell it to the reptile museum. I wasn't around. Well, it turns out the guy at the reptile museum got caught with some kind of venomous reptile without a permit or something, some snake or something. So he snitched on this guy. All of a sudden, dude, it was like the Federales, Department of Interior, DEA. It was, I forgot what it was, like 7 government agencies and 20 cop cars greeted him there. Wow. And it was a slow news cycle. So on CBS, NBC, ABC, this is New York, too. This is not like Tampa, like, oh, yeah, news is great. News in New York is like the gospel. For the next 5 days, animal smuggler caught red-handed, right? So now my mom is like, Chris, I see the mountain lion. It's on TV. Is that yours? I'm like, oh, Mom, my mom's from Greece. She's like, very supportive, So long story short, the Department of Interior, federal authorities show up at my house. And they go, hey, we saw that you signed the paperwork. Just want to let you know that the other guy is snitching on you. So I thought it was like TV. They're trying to get me to roll over on the other guy. So I just said, look, this is kind of, I was matter of fact, but I didn't snitch on the other guy. Later on, I found out the guy really was snitching on me. the guy arranged everything, and then he was like, that's why he had me sign for everything, so I could be. But luckily, he was the one caught. There was nothing. Believe it or not, there's no laws against it. The only thing, because the western mountain lion is not endangered, people actually hunt it. They did say, if its ears were fully tan or not black, something like that, it would have been, because this thing was bred with some Florida Puma blood. They go automatic 15 years in jail.
Wow. Whoa. If you'd gotten the rare breed, you didn't really know what you were getting. You just knew you were getting a mountain lion.
No, I knew it was like a Labrador, 60 pounds.
Yeah, 60 pound Labrador.
10 Arnold Schwarzeneggers condensed into one little animal.
So what became of the mountain lion?
It went to the Long Island Game Farm, like a place where, it was, they loved it. It was great. The mountain lion's doing great. But I learned, you don't buy a mountain lion if you don't have the facilities for it. And
oh man, that's a great
or
story.
500 birds.
Did you give it a name?
Well, the best part, Josh, the best part, they go, we hear a lot of birds in there. Are you doing anything illegal? With a straight face.
That's
with a straight face. No, sir, there's nothing going on there. So they didn't go check it. Now, I wasn't doing anything illegal, but in New York, you have to ban all your birds. My birds didn't have bands. They were captive bred there. I didn't ban them. If they could have easily said, okay, violation. When it comes to that. Florida, though, is the land of the free when it comes to this stuff. So as far as breeding birds. But you got to be more responsible about it and do it right. So.
Today you have a much tamer household. Do you have a parrot now or something? That's it?
We have two. We have a little sun conure and brown-headed parrot Charlie. But, that's when you're young and you're not thinking. You don't understand that there's consequences.
Hey, the best stories come when we're young. I had plenty of those types of things myself. Not so much along the animal lines, though. More fraternity-related. But that's a topic for a whole other show. So, anyways, I got to take a break here. Currently talking to Chris Krimitsos, the founder, or co-founder, I should say, of the Tampa Bay Business Owners, of which I am now a business partner with. You can learn more about this, tbbo.org. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING. Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YagerFlooring.com.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
Attention medical professionals. Have you heard that Tampa Bay will become the first certified wellness district in the country? Thanks to Jeff Fennick's revitalization of Channelside, the Dr. Whisperer wants to streamline your efforts in preparation. So when you're ready to ignite your practice, use the Dr. Whisperer's public relations expertise to spread the word. Use the Dr. Whisperer to motivate your staff. And use the Dr. Whisperer to recruit and secure leaders within your practice. Call the Dr. Whisperer today at 727-420-2481 or visit thedrwhisperer.com where they write your prescription for success.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Slow traffic on the southbound side of the Veterans Expressway. Crashed in a left-hand lane near Gun Highway. Also on the brakes between the accident scene and Waters. Also a crash in the Northdale area along southbound Dale Mabry just south of Van Dyke. One still causing some delays on southbound Dale Mabry approaching Linebaugh. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Udurk. Hillsborough traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Compassion International. Almost 1 billion children around the world live in extreme poverty. You can change or even save the life of one of those kids when you become a sponsor with Compassion International. Find out how you can help at compassion.com/radio.
Today, partly cloudy with a 20% rain chance, high 87. Tonight, showers overnight, low 74. Tomorrow, a 60% chance for strong thunderstorms, high 81.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back to the TBBO Tuesdays edition of That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Also want to thank our newest sponsor of the Tampa Bay business owners, Kevin Overstreet and Mandy Hunter of Insured Title Agency. You can learn more about them, insured-title.com. They are in the title insurance business. Also, they do a great event every month called the Become a Better Agent series for all the real estate professionals that are listening to me. That's going on, I should say, May the 6th, this Friday. You can register for that at itaevent.com, and he always gets a great turnout each and every one of those events. It's also going to be held over at the Tampa Bay Downs. So if you've never been over to the horse track, definitely a great little venue. I found that for the first time just a few months ago attending one of the Become a Better Agent events, and he's got on tap this time talking about real estate investing, some seasoned real estate professionals. Larry Harbaugh's going to be in there as one of the speakers.
I love Uncle Larry, one of our founding members at Tampa Bay.
And Lee Kearney. So that's going to be going on from 9 to I think about 3 o'clock. You can register for that, itaevent.com. Again, that's geared for real estate professionals, and learn more again, itaevent.com. And thanks to Kevin Overstreet, Mandy Hunter, Insured Title Agency for helping support the Tampa Bay business owners through the sponsorship. People that would like to get involved in the organization can learn more, tbbo.org. And Chris, you're also very involved in the podcasting space, and you've commissioned a film here on podcasting.
Yeah, actually, Jamie, just before that, I just want to give you credit. Since you and I became business partners, Tampa Bay Business Owners is exploding thanks to your team and the energy you've infused with it. So we're just hitting record numbers. And this Friday, we're also doing an event called our Content Marketing Summit. I just want to make sure to mention it because there might be people here that need to learn blog strategies to drive traffic to their websites. And I got Mark Ensign, who's one of the top bloggers in the world, talk about how to create a headline and stuff that tracks traffic. Lindsay Grinstead, she's going to be talking about paid LinkedIn ads and how to drive traffic through that. And then we have just Jen Posick talk about lead funnels. Matt Ashwood of the Songbird Agency talking about other things with social media and blogging, and Bonnie Dye with SEO. So it's one of those conferences that we do that's all day from 9:30 to 4. If anyone would like to learn about it, or really I would just say if you want to be active in it, TBBO, Tampa Bay Business Owners, has the best education when it comes to this stuff. Tickets are $99. They're at the University of Tampa is hosting us for the first time. We're really excited about that in their brand new lecture hall in the Loth Entrepreneur Center. So just go to tbbo.org to learn more about that. And then we're doing a success safari this month at St. Pete College, and they're going to be showing us what they're up to. So it's a pretty exciting month.
Looking forward to it. So, yeah, as I alluded to just a second ago, though, you're very active in what's going on in the podcasting space.
Yeah, we did PodFest this past year. We're moving it next year to a resort in Orlando, so I'm excited because we're going to hit some big numbers as far as attendees, but we're making a documentary, and right now there's one that was made last year that's being released in July that we didn't make, and that's about the comedy podcasts and their fan base. This is more about the independents and what drives them to create these podcasts. So we have our good friend Glenn the Geek of the Horse Radio Network, who has a podcast about horses in the morning. We have another guy, Justin Crossley, that has a podcast about craft brew. And then we have Danny Pena with the Gamer Tag Radio podcast. So these are just what compels these guys over the last 10 years to start these podcasts that basically had very little to no followings. And now they're just huge successes. So we're weaving those stories together. I know we're coming into the studio to record this show, Jamie, because you also podcasted after it's done off terrestrial radio.
Yep.
But it's an exciting challenge. Right now we're in crowdfunding mode, and I gotta see if I could hit up some people to be executive producers, because I'm gonna put it into the Academy short documentary section. In other words, if we put in certain film festivals, it can go literally be nominated for the Academy Awards under what they call an Academy short documentary, 50 minutes or more. So we believe that we have that kind of quality. I'm going on the road this month, a couple days here and there to record Glenn up in Ocala, go to Jacksonville, get the boys at Buzzsprout, go down to South Florida and get everybody down there. So it's exciting. I think out of this we might be able to create 3 movies, but we're going to focus on making one great one. And then we could create the Women of Podcasting and different series come out of it.
What's the projected release date for your documentary?
September 1st is our deadline. And I hope we make it, because we have to hit that mark to submit it into all the festivals. And you win laurels. That's what they call it when you get those. When someone sees award-winning like Sundance or whatever, you actually have to go to smaller festivals to win in order to put it into the bigger ones like Sundance or the Toronto Film Festival. So,
and the idea is to show an industry that's still kind of in its blossoming stage and what it's going to become, and what you believe will be a huge medium for marketers in the coming decades.
Yeah, and it's we got a really good crew recording it. They're all award-making filmmakers, so we're excited. And I'm going to be crowdfunding. I know you're helping me with putting some events here at the station, but I'm going to be looking for people that want to support this and be executive producers, because this is a labor of love. But I think the credit of this documentary will go a long way.
Well, looking forward to that, and yeah, we'll be talking about that a lot in the coming year throughout the on the program. And it's funny, so many people still ask, "What is a podcast?" You have to answer that every Florida Podcast.
Yeah, go to Florida Podcast Association, second Tuesday of the month at McAllister's at 6:30. Look us up on Facebook or Meetup.
Sounds good. Chris Kermitzos, co-founder of the Tampa Bay Business Owners. Thank you so much for being in the studio.
To you and Josh.
And also thank you to Roseanne Clemente, the developer of the Pad Go Round, who is with us in the 8 o'clock hour. Learn more about that apparatus, device, I should say, at padgoround.com. And also thank you to our guests in the 7 o'clock hour. Very entertaining and fun hour with Alexander and Kay Seneg with the Cooperative Real Estate. You can learn more about them. FindPropertiesInTampa.com. And I think we'll see them back in here in the coming weeks or so. You've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
The opinions, viewpoints, and promises